everyone and welcome to my channel Creative Space. And today we are going to talk about photography, which is a very interesting and a creative topic. And we have with us Mr. Ashay Tulalwar, who is a fashion and a celebrity photographer. So Ashay, thank you first of all for doing this for my channel, and I welcome you. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you for calling me. I am Ashay Tulalwar. Uh, I'm from Thane. Photography came into my life very surprisingly
Okay.
because I have been a theater artist for the longest time. So I had thought that I would be an actor. Or at one point of a time, I thought that I would do a job. I did my MBA. I'm a MBA in marketing. But during my college days, I got a mobile camera and I started shooting with it. And that just hooked me on to photography. Uh, so I have been doing photography, as you can see, for the last almost 15 years, but professionally, I've been doing it for the last 6 years now.
Hmm.
Till then, I was studying and I was doing a job. But 6 years ago, I suddenly decided, no, I would really like to pursue this as my career, and it has been good. And yes, I am a people photographer, as that's what I call myself. So anything related to people, I shoot it. That's what I do.
You're being very modest in saying you're a people's photographer. You are very good at your job. I have seen your pictures, and yes, on acting part, I have seen his acting as well. So he's very good.
Thank
Uh,
you.
okay, so now let's move on to all the questions related to this topic, Ashay. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the first question that would be, how many types of photographers are there? I mean, the main categories.
There are actually many main
Yeah.
categories. So obviously there are the people photography, and there are many things in people photography like portrait photography, wedding photography, child photography, artistic photography. Then there is landscape photography. Then there is photojournalism. There is editorial photography. There is product photography. There is still life photography. So because you can literally click a photo of anything.
Yes.
There are that many types of photography, those many types of photographers. So you can't really say that these are only the main types of photography. So I'll not really say that itna hi hai or itna hi hota hai. No, no. You can click anything. There is underwater photography and everything. So yeah, I mean it's a very vast thing. And with cameras becoming so advanced, sky's the limit, I guess. You can literally shoot anything.
Yeah, I
There is
mean,
astrophotography also.
oh, so many
Huh.
new terms. I mean, as a layman, I would really not know. So thank you for shedding lights. Very briefly, you said, but there are so many things that like underwater photography and all these are like very
Yes,
new for us.
yes. It was very new for me also.
Yeah.
Once I really started studying it, it became like ये छोटा नहीं है, ये बहुत vast और बहुत बड़ा subject है.
एक्चुअली बहुत फिर इसकी वजह से ना बहुत लोगों को ऑप्शंस मिले हैं. पीपल आर वेरी लकी टू बी इन दिस एज, बी इन दिस एरा एंड एक्सप्लोर सो मेनी ऑप्शंस इन वन फील्ड. सो इट्स अ बोन, आई
Yes.
थिंक.
Definitely. And again, as I said, because the advancement of technology nowadays, there is mobile photography also.
ओके.
So people genuinely shoot things professionally with their mobiles as well.
या, that's true, that's true. So before I mean, so my next question now would be, what is that one thing you wish you knew before entering or starting your career in photography?
That I can do a career in photography. Means at that point of time, I never really thought that photography would be my whole and soul career.
Correct.
Because maybe the lack of knowledge, or I didn't have what do you say, belief that I can do it. Maybe that was the main thing, but also a lack of information at that point of time, which is not so in today's world with the advent of internet, the way it has come into our lives, and literally information at your fingertips. It was not there at that point of time.
Yeah.
But if you really think that you can't have a career in photography, you can. You
Then watch
can
my YouTube
definitely
channel,
have.
Creative Space, and see this blog because there is an awareness creation. Exactly what you are doing. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not simple,
Yeah.
but yes, if you work hard enough at it, you can definitely earn very good money out of photography.
That's very motivating to know, actually, for people, for beginners. Okay, now my next question now would be then, what are the three most common misconceptions that people have about this field?
uh, Ideally, they are misconceptions because they don't really understand what goes into clicking a photograph. It's not
Hmm.
just clicking a button.
Barabar.
You should know the lighting. You should know how the camera works. You should know how to frame your subject into that one frame. So it's the misconception is, hi, you just have to click a button and the photo will be good, or you have a very good camera, you have an expensive lens, so the photo will be good. No, there are brilliant photographers who take good photos just with a mobile,
Yeah, true.
and there are people who have super expensive equipment but are not that good photographers. So the misconception is it's easy. It's not. It's absolutely not easy. You have to study.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it can be God's given grace to you that you click good photos, but if you want to remain relevant for a long period of time, you have to study. Otherwise, you'll be just a good photographer for the rest of your life.
Right. True. Very good point, actually. You need to have skills and knowledge. Correct.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if someone wants to pursue photography, which is the course or which is that path that one can take? If you can just give guidance in any course that you can suggest for a beginner.
No, no, nowadays many universities have started giving bachelorate degrees in photography now.
Oh,
Yeah, so I did a very small course from Bharatiya Vidyapeeth, Pune.
okay.
I did a small course of 3 months, but they have a proper bachelor's degree course
Okay.
which you can do. And that is not just the one university. There are various universities now from where you can get a proper degree. You'll just have to see. People just have to explore what they want. If they want to go to Pune, if there is one in Goa, there is a college in Mumbai. But that is a part of you study. I'm not going to give the names.
Correct.
People have to do a little work.
Yeah, I mean, you
Because
can't take
that's fun
names
also.
also.
That's fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct.
The information is on your fingertips. Just take your mobile and just search, and you'll get it.
I'm really amused that the so many fields have come, like bachelorette in photography, like you converting your hobby into career. I mean, it's amazing, really. You know?
But that's the fun part about it. Uh, I still have to put in a lot of work, but I enjoy it.
Right, 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 right. Why not? Why not? Correct.
Like you do your job, but you must be enjoying taking these interviews and everything.
100%.
Your YouTube channel must be a different kind of satisfaction that you get.
100%. Exactly. I understand what you're saying. Yes, it is. Yes. So okay. So now my next question would be, which is a professional camera and how many different types of lenses are there? Briefly. Now, having a professional camera, as you said, you had answered this question. Ki there are so many different types of, but the most common ones, and how many lenses are used in a professional camera?
Um, Currently, there are three companies that are on top:
Okay.
Nikon, Canon, Sony.
Hmm.
There are other companies as well, Fujifilm and all have cameras, but Nikon, Canon, and Sony are the top in the industry. And there are various levels of cameras that they offer, from beginner cameras to proper professional cameras. So
Hmm.
it starts anywhere from 30, 40,000 ka camera to almost a 5 lakh ka camera. And there are cameras even beyond that. So there are medium format cameras which are almost 50, 60 lakhs.
Baapre.
Those are the highest end
Right.
cameras. If you can reach there, you are like,
Then you can have an
that's the
entire
best thing.
movie shoot, like, you know.
No, no, those are very specifically, the 60 lakh ones are very specifically for photography only.
Oh.
So the hoardings that you see, the
Ah.
huge hoarding. So generally people use those for those kinds of shoots.
Acha.
And lenses wise, there are telephoto lenses, there are wide angle lenses, there are macro lenses, there are prime lenses.
Okay.
These are the four basic categories that you'll know. So telephoto lens is basically you can zoom.
Okay.
So the farthest away thing that you want to see. So if
Yes.
you zoom to it, it will come closer to you. Those are telephoto lenses.
Hmm.
Wide angle lenses are to capture a very wide area.
Like a
So when
panorama.
you're doing landscape,
Huh.
correct, correct, kind of panorama.
Okay.
So, but in panorama, you have to move the camera.
Right.
This is like
Wide
the
angle.
lens will give you that wide area in itself.
Understood.
There are macro lenses, which is like telescopic. So for small things, you use to show the small things in a big way.
Hmm.
It acts like a microscope lens.
Hmm.
And then there are prime lenses. Prime lenses are they do not zoom, they do not do anything. They have a fixed mm or
Okay.
depth of field, not depth of field, uh, 55 lenses, 80 85 lenses. So they are fixed. You have to move around with it, but the magic of those lenses are a little different.
Okay.
You can control the depth of field very uh, beautifully with those lenses. Explain
Okay.
it, but these are the four types of lenses that are there.
Okay. Very. Thank you for sharing this information. Like for me also, it's
Yeah,
a
well,
learning thing. Okay. Now my next question now would be: if you do an outdoor shoot, what are the essential things that you carry apart from, of course, your camera and lenses?
that will very much depend on the kind of shoot you're doing.
Hmm.
Um, for maybe you need a light, you
Hmm.
need a continuous light, or you need a strobe light. So continuous light is like your bulb, and a strobe light will be like your flash, but big flashes,
Right.
flashes with a lot of power.
Hmm.
You can even use the small flashes which you see during weddings, and there are big flashes as well. Uh, Continuous lighting systems have become very good nowadays. So because photography is a game of light and shadow, basically light you need. Even if when you're outdoor, you'll have ambient light, you'll have the natural light, but you can also use artificial light for various purposes. Apart from that, then there are reflectors, there are diffusers. So reflector will do what the word actually says. It will reflect the light
Yeah.
onto the subject or whatever is your main focus of attention in that photograph. And there are then diffusers, which diffuse harsh light and make them soft. So 12 PM ka sunlight is very harsh light.
Okay.
So if you want to diffuse that, there are diffusers which diffuse that light and give you very soft lighting.
Okay.
So it can be that. Um, it can be props, whatever is required for your shoot.
True.
Uh, you can need your car also to for the model to change. It can be anything. It very much depends on your shoot. But very specifically, apart from the camera equipment, it will be my lights and it will be my diffusers and reflectors that I definitely will have to take.
Okay. Okay, understood. Okay, so now my next question now is specifically for you. Which are your favorite settings in a camera? What do you prefer? How do you like to shoot?
No, no, manual settings. I shoot a very manual, and any professional photographer uses manual settings because it gives you a lot of freedom. Auto settings are very good for if you're just starting and you want to just first click good photos. But the amount of freedom that manual gives you and freedom to actually uh, bring the photo that is in your mind actually onto the
The
camera.
creativity, huh?
Huh. So there is something that you see and you understand that I want to show it like this. You have to be able to use the camera to actually bring that onto the camera. Basically, there is shutter speed,
Hmm.
there is aperture, there is ISO. Then what kind of a lens will you use? Will you use a telephoto lens or will you use a prime lens? If you're doing landscape, you have to do an ultra wide lens. So it very much will. There is no, I
Limit to
guess,
it.
favorite setting.
Acha, acha. Okay.
My prime lenses. I have my favorite lenses are 70-200 and 85 mm 1.4.
Okay.
So at 1.4, the image becomes so soft. I love that feeling. I love the blur effect that those lenses give me. So I would say that those are my favorite lenses rather than any favorite settings of a camera.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And now the next, if you want to share any successful projects that you have done so far, or any upcoming projects that you are very much keen, if you would like to share something.
Everything that I click, every project that I work on, maybe it is an event, maybe it is a shoot with a celebrity, maybe it is a shoot with my parents or my family. They are all special. So you can't really say that this is special or I want to highlight this. No, I love photography. I love clicking photos. So everything that I do is special to me.
So, Ashay, apart from this, anything that I must have missed, which is a common factor and commonly seen by the beginners that you would like to share across and give that piece of information for our viewers?
I would just say stick to it.
Hmm.
Keep on photographing every day. To, to genuinely understand your camera, to genuinely understand light, you have to click a lot of photographs. There is no substitute to hard work. You have to keep on doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. I still have to keep on doing it. I am a good photographer, but to be a very good photographer, to be like one of the masters of photography, you have to firstly keep on doing your hard work, see a lot,
Hmm.
not only films वगैरह नहीं, see photographs. Actually try to understand what went into bringing that photograph to life.
Hmm.
How was it really made? Because it is again a game of imagination as well. If you can see it here and then you know your camera well enough, you can actually bring it to life.
Right. Right.
So it is not easy, but it is fun.
Yeah.
It is extremely fun to
And that is
really
how you will
work on
learn.
a photograph.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Basically, just stick to it.
Hmm.
Go out, click 1,000 photos every day. I used to do that.
Huh.
So my father always gives an example that in a primary school,
Hmm.
10 small kids were given uh, a subject of rainy day and they were
Hmm.
told to draw. And all those 10 paintings or drawings will be different,
Hmm.
but they'll not be bad.
Right.
How
True.
can they be bad? That is what art is. It cannot be bad. You'll feel the mere liye this is okay, but it might be very good for someone else. You never know.
Yeah. It's perspective. Yeah.
It's perspective. You have to keep on improving yourself. You are your biggest competitor.
True.
ऐसा धरो और आगे चलो.
Okay. Following this question, I just had this question in my mind. So, anything that you must have observed in a juvenile photographer that you must have seen that Tips for improvement that you think that it's very raw, it's very new. This is a juvenile photographer. They're missing out on these points. Anything that you would like to highlight?
Patience. You have to have a lot of patience, especially with people. When you're doing people photography, you have to have a lot of patience and empathy with your model,
Hmm.
because even modeling is not a very easy job. It's not at all. The model भी बहुत थक जाती है, थक जाते हैं. So you have to see that they are getting food, they are getting water, they are getting rest. Because if they are at the top of their game, then my portraits will be good.
Hmm.
But if they are not comfortable, if they are hungry, if they are thirsty, then वो थोड़ा एनर्जी कम हो जाता है और वो फोटोग्राफ में आ जाता है.
Right.
So
Very
have
different.
patience with people and empathize with them,
Hmm. Good point.
especially with your models if you're doing people photography.
Hmm. True.
Because many times people don't understand that uh, उनका एनर्जी कम हो रहा है, या they are not really in the right space,
Hmm.
and that will hamper your photography. That's one of the biggest things that I really uh, look after my models, because if they are good, my photograph is good, I know.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Ashay, for a lovely piece of content that you have given me. And in a brief, I'm sure this is a very vast subject, and probably in detail, maybe we can take another blog. But to create an awareness, very good content, very good piece of information you have given. So thank you once again for doing this for me. And guys, do subscribe.
Thanks for calling me, and yes, please like, subscribe, and
Share.
share this video.
Yes, thank you. Bye. See you.
Yeah, bye.